Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The name is Metalman20, and I hope you're having an amazing day. Now this is a very special video that I have for you here today. So a lot of you have been wondering / asking what my control schemes are for Spin Rhythm XD, like what the main control scheme I have for Spin Rhythm XD. And what I wanted to do was make a video that's, I want to say, way more detailed and way more informative than the majority of videos I make, which is usually just like, oh, okay, well, here's the FC, little to no editing, just freaking plop it right there, hope you enjoy it, it's a fun song, but that's it. So, the thing is though, before I can get to the main aspect of what this video is, I need to at least note what a few of the different types of control schemes there are for this game. And I am going to try and give examples for each one. Unfortunately, there's going to be a few that I can't actually make examples for. But I will make sure to still talk about them. Just, unfortunately, I just am not able to make examples for every single one, or for every single control scheme. So, of course, for that point, I'm only going to be able to talk about them. But anyways, for now, let's begin the video!
Spin Rhythm!
So, this is where you go to set up your control schemes, whatever it may be. Now, as you can see here, there's a few options, to say the least. Now, what you can do is you have your classic keyboard and mouse control like setup for control scheme, and even with that, you have quite a few options for your control schemes and for your key bindings. I couldn't even think of the word. Yes, for your key bindings. Like, you have a lot of options here. You have your A and D. You can use your A and D keys to spin the wheel. Your spacebar for the beat notes. And you can go ahead and set up different keys for alternate beat notes and alternate click notes if you so choose. Or you can just go ahead, especially in terms of the click notes, you can go and just stay with the default click options for your mouse. You know, whatever works best for you. Now, there's a few options you can choose for your controller schemes. Cause, like, for your gamepad, you can use your Xbox One controllers. So, you know, if you want to go ahead, like, you can use the thumbsticks to go into, like, again, like, I don't really have controllers on me, so I can't really show any options. But you have your controllers, your Xbox One, your PS4, use your thumbsticks to spin the wheel. You can configure the buttons whichever way you want. And also, another cool fact that I'll just go and mention now for anyone who might not know this. The game is coming out for the Switch. It's either going to be sometime later this year, near the end of the year, or it's going to be, like, early sometime next year. But it is coming out for the Switch, which I kind of want to buy it. Like, I know I have it for the PC already, and I'll probably be, like, that YouTuber who just focuses on the PC build version, but I would get it on the Switch just to see how it feels, because I feel that would be pretty freaking cool. I don't know, that's just me. Anyway, that's the few options you have for your controllers. One thing I forgot to mention, though. There was even somebody who literally modified the Wii remote to be a controller. I really, really wish I had that video. Or, like, I could find that video, because that was, like, a few months ago when someone posted that. But I was just like, are you kidding me? I just thought it was funny. That's cool. I'm not kidding. Someone literally modified a freaking Wii remote and made it into a Spin Rhythm controller. I don't even know how they did that. I guess they used the analog stick on the nunchuck and then used the buttons inputs for the Wii stick. Whatever. All I know is it was freaking amazing. I thought it was cool. That was just, that's just what I thought. And for those who want to be a true Spin Master, or at least feel like one, you have plenty of MIDI turntables to choose from. There's gonna be a few that might not work, but the best part about that is the Discord actually has a huge review list, like a whole category for people who review different turntables and use that to be able to be like, okay, so this one works, all of these work, you know, you might have to modify a few of them, but they work perfectly for you. So I will go, and again, I'm gonna have a lot of these, like, examples on the screen at the same time to show you while we're going over this. Just, you know, I just feel like a visual aid might be appropriate. It might help out, just in terms of stuff. Alright. So as you can see, there's definitely plenty of options for you to choose from, ranging from controllers to MIDI turntables to your keyboard and mouse, you know, the basic controller stuff, that if you want to consider that, you know, basic stuff. But the thing is, all you have to do is just make sure that you go and you practice with them. See which ones work best for you, and then at that point, you go ahead and you practice as hard as you can, because I know you can do this. You will nail those sections, and you will become a true spin rhythm master. Anyways, so to finish this section off, let's talk about a few more of the miscellaneous things, in terms of like what this has. So, for example, like a few of these can alter the gameplay. So, for clear notes after misses, for example. So, just in case you don't know, or in case you've never really looked at the options, just, you know, because I mean, I know some people who don't, so that's okay. But, for clear notes after misses, essentially what that means is if you have it checked off, what happens is if you miss a few notes, then at that point, the rest of that section, the notes disappear. Like, I mean, if you're trying to go for a very high score, I mean, granted, if you're FCing it, it doesn't really matter. But if you're trying to get as high a score as you can, despite knowing you might not be able to FC it, you might want to have that turned off. Because otherwise, you are missing out on a lot of points, because there's some songs, especially a lot of custom songs, where like a whole section of like a bunch of notes just boom, it's gone. It's just gone into the wind, flew away. So yes, you will be missing out on a lot of points, but that's essentially what that does. Next, you have the wheel sensitivity, where essentially that means, okay, so wheel sensitivity. So it's essentially used to show how fast you want to spin the wheel. I have it, personally for me, I have it set to 2.0. I used to have it set to 1.5, but I don't know. Things changed for me. So I moved it up to 2.0 and doing pretty well for myself, not gonna lie. Now, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but woo woo! Alright. I'm sorry, I've been watching old Achievement Hunters, so anyone who watches Achievement Hunter and remembers Ray, you might get that reference. Anyway.
Whoa, whoa!
So dumb, but I love it. Alright. I'm just trying to finish this right now. It's so dumb. Alright, and then what you have is you have your hold mouse to click to move. So click to move. The thing about that is essentially, if you have this turned off, you don't have to click. The wheel just moves all on its own. Ooh, it's magical. But if you have it turned on, you have to click to spin the wheel. Not many people actually use this, to be honest. I do know that me and Trumpeltier use it, and I believe Mappy might use it. I'm not entirely sure on that. Mappy, if you watched this video, please correct me if I'm wrong. But like I said, there's really only a few people who use this for like click to move. But yeah, that's literally what that is. You use it, so if you have it turned on, you have to click and then move it. That's pretty much what that is. Very self-explanatory. So, if, you know, there's nothing else to really talk about, that was pretty much everything else for this section. So now, let's get on to the main meat of the video on what this whole thing is all about. Now, I'm sure you've all been waiting very patiently for the main point of what this video is about, which of course is what my specific control scheme is for Spin Rhythm XD. So without further ado, let's do this! Ha! So, I've made it so you can see my keyboard more zoomed in, so I can give a more detailed demonstration for more helpful visual aid. So first, what I want to talk about is the mouse. You know, the mouse right here, since a lot of people who use the mouse and keyboard actually use the mouse for the majority of the commands, of the button commands. Now for me, I actually don't use my mouse for like a lot of things. I honestly don't. I use the left mouse button as the main click button for most sections. So, you know, it's pretty easy, you know, just you know, click, 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 and there you go. Watch the notes fly down the screen. And that's, you know, that's how it goes. You just click the notes and watch them go. However, for faster sections, I do use the right mouse button as well for the more tricky sections that use a lot of click notes. So that way I can keep up with the rhythm as well as not be too slow with clicking the notes. Because there are a few songs, there's a few songs in the base game and a lot of custom songs that have pretty decently fast click note sections. So using the right mouse button is key, at least for me anyways, to FC more of the difficult click note sections. And for the rare song where it's absolute click note galore, like this horrific monster of a song, like this. I even have keys on my keyboard binded as alternate click notes to help with those sections. In this case, I use the Q and the E keys. Q, E. I use those keys. However, it's pretty damn rare for me to have to resort to using those keys to tap as fast as I possibly can. You know, funny enough, I still can barely get to the beginning of this song before failing horrendously. And I mean horrendously. Yeah, this song is not nice. Oh boy. So dumb. Anyways, moving on. The last thing that I use for my mouse is for the sustain notes. So essentially, it's any note where you have to click to hold and then you move your mouse to follow the path of the hold note. So, you know, it's like there's the sustain, there's the click note, but then it's a hold note, sustain note. Click, move the mouse and follow the path wherever it shall lead you. And, you know, like that for sustain notes. Or I use them for sections where I know that I have to use the mouse to FC a section. Because it's like, no amount of practice in the world with the A and D keys are going to help me. So it's basically sections like the last difficult section of Checkpoint, right over here, or a really difficult solo in a custom song. And that really is pretty much it mouse-wise. The keyboard, this beautiful baby right here, the keyboard is going to be where the majority of my key bindings are going to be used for in this game. And I would like to start with the A and D keys. Alright, so, brief flashback lesson, real quick, before we get into this. So before I used the A and D keys, I only used the mouse to spin the wheel. I mean, it was fun and easy on easy and normal, like, you know, haha, it was so much fun, yeah, move the mouse and just use that to do everything. However, once I got to hard and expert, I was not able to FC any of them. I could pass them still, yes. But I already FC'd everything on the first two difficulties by that point. And it's like listen, there were only like 10 or 11 songs by that point anyways. The game was only out for like 2 or so weeks by the time when I first started. Come on. But I really wanted to FC them on hard and expert. So I decided to switch things up. Cue the A and the D key. I went back to easy and normal to try it out, and it actually felt good to use. So after I got the hang of it, I went to hard, and after a few days of practice, boosh! Nailing sections left, and nailing them right like a gosh darn champion. So then, after a week or so, I was able to FC like everything on hard. So then I started on expert, and it definitely took a while, but soon I was able to FC everything there as well. And that's how I started using the A and D keys. There's a brief history lesson. But now, to answer this question, how do I utilize the A and the D keys to help me out in this game? That is how I usually spin the wheel. I don't use the mouse normally. I use these two keys, the A and the D key. For spin notes, I just tap the direction. Whichever direction I'm going, and bam, note spot. If there's a left spin note, left. If it's a right spin note, right. Go to the right, left, left, right. And for difficult sections, I either have to hold the note or tap it. Because depending on how I need to control the wheel to make sure that it doesn't go all over the place. Because some sections, and I don't even know if there's like a reason for why this happens, but there's some sections where you even just tap it and the wheel goes broosh, broosh, left and right, like all freaking over the place. And then other times, if just the wheel feels weighted, I honestly don't know how else to explain that. It's just like, you have to like hold down, you have to hold down. But yeah, it feels weighted. I just don't get it. Like, it has to be, there's a reason for that. But yeah, so you have to hold A or D. Like, you have to push down so the wheel moves. That's what you have to do for that. Okay, so quick note before I head over to the beat note section. I do in fact use the Q and the E keys, so these two bad boys right here, as alternate click notes. And it really is a very rare instance for me to use them, because, as of right now, I can only think of 2, maybe 3 of the nearly 400 custom tracks where I'd need to use them to try and get through it. And even then, it really doesn't help because of how much nonsense that is. Like this song, like this piece of shit. What is this? What even is this? What the fuck's going on here? What is this? Freaking ridiculous! Such a piece of shit. Moving on, we shall now talk about the beat notes. So for me, I use the spacebar, which actually is the default key. So like, you know, whenever you start the game, like that's the default for any time you start a new, or like if any new computer starts this, that's the default key. And that is what I use for every beat note. Because I mean, like I said, it was default to space. I got really comfortable with the position, so I went with it. Now, funny enough, I actually didn't even realize I could do this until someone pointed it out on one of my streams. Whoop! Shameless plug alert, did I just say that out loud? But yeah, so since there's multiple keys you can keybind for different actions, I didn't seem to think I could do it with beat notes for some stupid ass reason. So yeah, I now use the S key for ultimate beat notes, because there are some custom songs that go a little, like just I can't even show them, just a little bit overboard on the beat notes. Just a little bit.
I'm a cowboy.
So yeah, that's it. That is my control scheme. I have 2 alternate click notes, Q and E, 2 notes I use to spin the wheel, A and D, for the most part, a key for beat and alternate beat notes, spacebar and S, and the mouse for sustain notes, main click notes, and any other section that I need the mouse for. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I honestly tried to be as informative as I could, and if this seems like a control scheme that could help you, but please try it out for a few days, even a few weeks, and see how it goes. And if it doesn't work out for you, no need to worry, there's a control scheme for everyone. So just try out different ones until you find the one that works out for you. So the name is Metalman20. I love this game. I love this community. Every single one of you beautiful bastards. And I hope that each and every one of you has an amazing day and night. And as always, you keep being amazing as you possibly can be.